Kampala, Uganda's capital commercial business center. The place where every Ugandan aspires to live and make a fortune. The place of limitless opportunities. If you have dreams and aspirations to be rich and loaded. The center of Uganda's financial markets. A place where you can afford to dream and live your financial dreams if you are street smart and know how to get your way around. It can also be the place where you can get lost and just realize that you do not belong here. Yet many avenues, much more than what people realize, offer numerous opportunities from which money can be made. The capital markets. They are the new and exciting ways of making fortunes, saving money and investments. This year, the Capital Markets Authority set out with a novel idea to tickle the young students from 19 universities in Uganda and to stimulate their ideas of how to get into capital markets and the stock exchange.
And I think as far as I'm concerned, let's go for it. And
Well. Good evening and welcome to the 5th episode in the series of the Capital Markets University Challenge. It has been a question of how to survive, and they went out last week to improve on their fortunes. The question is, who will be fired next for failing to lead the team? Well, welcome to this episode.
It is back to the drawing boards for all the three clubs. Their performance last week was below average and they need to push up their game. Makerere University Students Investment Club, the leader was dismissed last week for incompetence. They need to replace him. But the leaders of the club do not want to demoralize their members with the reason for his dismissal. They seek a diplomatic way around the impasse.
Our former president has requested to stop being our president, and he has decided that he wants a post that is less demanding. He's a busy man, he takes care of many people, and he has so many responsibilities. So primarily we are here to get our president.
Soon after, James is nominated as his replacement. He acknowledges, though, that it was good to fire Emmanuel as leader.
He didn't seem so quite up for the challenge. He was quite cold, and I think primarily is because of his course, his profession. He's a scientist. I'm not saying scientists can't do much, but it's not his field. He kind of didn't know his expectations.
He begins by inducing new members into the club. A number of women have signed up for the first time.
We are putting in place plans of making you people understand what capital markets are and how we can make a dime out of the capital markets. That's our next objective.
The next task is to consolidate the business and make it more profitable. They are now procuring their airtime directly from Nairobi in order to increase their profit margins. This means that they can now use agents around the university campus to carry on the sales. With direct procurement, they are now able to offer commission to the willing sales agents.
For us, we think that it will be giving her 100.
100 on each card?
On each card.
You negotiate.
Yeah, that's what I was also saying, but I just had to explain what is going on.
But not all agreed to the deal. The club also tries to launch its coupons. But trying to sell coupons to a skeptical student body in order to contest in writing a business proposal seems like an uphill task.
So at the end of the day, when you buy the coupon, which is only 500, not something much than that, you will write a business plan and submit it where it will be supposed to be submitted in the faculties, and then after that, we'll take the results to the capital market. Judges are going to read through your plans. At the end of the day, they will select the best 3 students. and then they will be awarded. But we'll communicate to you later as per the awards. Have nice lectures.
Meanwhile, at KIU, the Mobile Investors Club has had to change its business plans. They began the University Challenge by selling MTN cards. They now realize that they cannot survive by selling MTN cards alone in the multinational environment at KIU. They now have Safaricom and Vodacom cards besides the 3 Ugandan networks. The only snag, what currency to use? They could be making a loss via the exchange rate.
Kenyan currency, guys are going to buy using Kenyan currency. Yeah, that's what they're doing. But you're going to get a loss.
Thank you very much. We started with the selling of airtimes, and the investment club is growing. So we believe that as the investment club grows, we can even reach the level of selling phones.
So we have Vodacom also.
Later, 1 hour.
What?
1 hour later, you take it.
All right.
Try to find me.
Okay, I'll find you.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
They also acquire an ally who can sell for them their airtime.
Since he's doing this business of selling airtime and phones, we felt it's better to join with him as a partner to us, and I'll be a partner of his business. It is able to promote our service, and also we're helping him promote his service too.
The club also carry on their car washing project to continue supplementing their income. And it gives them some serious relief and the means to expand their business plans. In the meantime, presiding partner Joseph has some thoughts on how they are progressing or not.
We are also trying to raise money through polishing people's shoes. Also many other things that may come on the way. We are also trying to put up tournaments, sponsor tournaments, like the pool table tournament, which may start the effect from the end of this week. And also I think from there we shall also raise some money.
He also pours out his thoughts why they had to diversify. Meanwhile, the club members are still optimistic that they will improve on the second place position during the first judgment.
I am optimistic. Things will turn out very okay next time around.
In business, we always try to get the best. So I was not very happy that position is not very bad. As they say, that even if you fail, not fail very badly.
Are you confident that by Friday you'll be number one?
Yes, we are very confident, and that's what we are working for.
They also discuss future strategies that could lift the club. And what about visiting the Securities Exchange brokers?
We are actually planning that by the end of this semester, we must have at least done some investment in the stock exchange.
Down at Makerere University Business School, coming bottom of the heap at the first judgment has given the club a reality check.
Yeah, as members, we've been missing some things, the receipt books, but we've purchased those things, and they are the things that made us fail. And I think that we now have them, we have to win.
The club gathers to review the unpleasant situation. But in the meantime, the pancake business continues to flourish.
We are able to get a profit of 63,450.
Judge Judith pays a visit and gauges their progress.
All right.
We are still dropping it.
Okay.
So we've got advice from the legal advisor, now we are dropping it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She samples their pancakes.
Anyone wants to join me?
They're giving me mine, I think.
Everyone is getting one.
I'm joining.
Actually, yummy.
You should clap for her.
New strategies are outlined and discussed, and the club is hopeful, or is not lost. During the week, the club pays a visit to African Alliance, a stock brokerage firm, and buys unit trusts.
Is there a minimum, like you have to buy like maybe 50 shares as a minimum? Is it there, or you can buy any number of shares?
Officially, there is a minimum of 100 shares per account, but obviously that differs from counter to counter. There are some counters that are priced quite cheaply, in absolute terms compared to others. For example, 100 shares in Stanbic Bank is not the same as 100 shares in Uganda Clays. Stanbic Bank is currently priced at 190 per share, while Uganda Clays is priced at 5,055. So, of course, if you're taking it strictly that it must be 100 shares per counter, that means for one counter you can start with a small amount as low as 18,000 or 19,000. Thank you
for your advice.
Thank you
very much.
Okay. All right.
So far we have bought unit trusts from African Alliance Uganda, and in addition we have a business plan, so things are okay now.
It is now time to face the judges again to see how they performed in week 2.
This is the second week of the analysis session. Last week, these different groups were critically analyzed, and we managed to see Makerere University coming out as the best. They were dealing in airtime. Kampala International University came out as second best. They were also dealing in airtime and washing cars. Now, Makerere University Business School managed to come out as the last, and they were dealing in Kabalagala. This week, we are bound to see whether the Kabalagala boys are going to come up. Now, last week, we were lenient with them, and even after their disappointing performance, we gave them 50,000 shillings each. This week, it is going to be hot. I hope they learned a lesson from last week's boardroom performance, because last week, they witnessed one of their leaders getting fired, and this was the leader of Makerere University. This week, there is no mercy. The boardroom is hot, and the honeymoon is over. Well, let's get to these groups and see how they performed. Are you ready? Yes. Now, this is how it's going to be. We are going to perform a lottery where the person that picks the paper number 1 is going to be the first in this boardroom. The second is going to be the second, and that's how it's going to be respectively. Ladies and gentlemen, it is on. Let's pick. So who is number 1 and who is number last?
Makerere University, number 1.
Number 1 once again.
KE number 2.
KE number 2. And Noobs, you're the last. All right, then, let's see. Makerere University, stay in the boardroom. The rest of you may come in later. Well, gentlemen from Makerere University, last week we came out as the best. Are you ready to be the best again?
Yes, we are.
Did you do something worth it?
Yes, we did.
So what happened last week?
We had to do some realignment on our strategy, and we restructured a few things. At the end of the day, we made a net of 25,400.
That's very interesting. That's very good. And you think you're going to be the best?
We hope so.
Well, I wish you the best. Well, let's get on to the judges.
Okay, thank you so much, students from Makerere University. I would want to know what steps you've taken to have a document that is going to protect the right of the members.
One, we have drafted our constitution. Now we are working towards finalizing the document, and we have registered the club with the university. We are getting the certificate processed.
Okay, what about as far as the accountability of the funds is concerned?
Now about accountability, we have bought a receipt book. We have prepared a stamp, a rubber stamp. So any payment that is done, we are getting people receipted, and we are doing our accounting after every week and communicating to the members how much we've made.
Okay, do you have any statements of accounts that you've made?
Yes, we have made our trading and profit and loss account to show what we did last week.
Okay, now what strategies do you have for having more marketing to get in new members?
We are still approaching them one by one, and we are following. We're going to lecture halls, speaking what we are doing. We've added more posters, and we finalized on our website.
I would also want to find out about the teamwork, how the work is done. Do you have different subcommittees in place, or it's only the 3 of you who are working all the time?
We have a good structure, beginning from the president to the vice president. We have the secretary general. We have 4 departments: the finance, the auditing, we have the marketing, and we have representatives from the board, from the members. So we are working as a team in those different departments.
Now, what steps do you have in place to see that there will be continuity of the music, as your investment club is called, after you people have left Makerere?
Now, music is going to continue. One, in our constitution, we've put a clause whereby we have to hold our elections every year
to allow new members take power or be the leaders. We have in place, we want to recruit new members every year, every time. We are approaching the first years basically to make sure that there's continuity.
This competition is being organized by Capital Markets Authority. What steps have you taken as music to see that you are involved in the capital markets of Uganda?
Last week we went to MBA brokerage firm and they taught us everything about what we need to buy shares. This week we've gone to African Alliance. They taught us about units and how we can take part in buying units. So at the moment we are pooling funds to help us get to the market. We want to buy shares and units.
Congratulations, Music, for being last week's winners. When you started the club, you were about?
We are 3.
You were 3.
Yes.
At the end of first week, you were?
25.
25. Yes. How many are you now?
We are the registered ones as per Thursday. There were 21 on our report, but wow. This morning there were 25. Now the same number remains, but the difference is last week they are not registered, they are not paid. So this time we have committed members who have paid.
Okay, what's your strategy for keeping member cohesion and making sure that you don't lose track of the key objective of this competition, which is promotion of capital market?
We are meeting our members and communicating to them, letting them understand what really we are after. We are making them understand our objectives, and we are working hand in hand with them to make money. And the last thing, where we are headed to is buying the shares. They know we want to buy shares and keep in the market.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. I wish you the best and you may leave the boardroom.
Thank you so much.
Shall be seeing the next group. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're actually the only group that has ladies. Do you think that makes you stronger or it makes you weaker?
Makes us strong.
It makes you stronger? Yes. Anyway, I don't want to waste much of your time. I want you to go straight to the judges so that we can see whether you're getting fired or you're winning this week. Last week you were the second.
Right.
So you think you're going to be the best?
Yes.
Fine, let's hear from the judges, please.
Welcome and good evening, KIU. Hope you had a great week, selling airtime, washing cars, and doing what else? We'd like to know in these 2 weeks what you have done to, first of all, how many members do you have now?
We have now 25 members.
25 members. And what have you put in place to protect the rights of those members?
We have amended the constitution, the first place. Yes, and we've encouraged members actually. And before we actually welcome new members, we have to orient them that their rights are going to be protected, and that's why they also get interest in joining the club. Yes.
Now, is the group, your group, registered in any way with any body?
We are trying to register with the university because the university provides that each association must be registered, and that's what we are actually going to do next.
Okay, tell us about how you have done in terms of money coming in through member contribution, sales, money you've got from Capital Markets Authority.
Okay. Actually, from the Capital Markets Authority, we have now we received at the end of the last week, and we managed to raise some money through the car wash activities of about 65,000. And then also we managed to make some profits of about 27,500. That's from the airtime. And now we also raised some money through the membership registration, subscription fees. We raised about 30,000. So we had a total of about 215,000.
So what measures do you have in place to account for these monies?
Okay, we have actually we have the financial partners. There are two, and we have already a team of accountability, a committee, which are actually to look into this money, and we have the record books and receipts, everything to show this.
Okay, thank you. Now, what do you have in place to ensure that the club continues after these 3 weeks?
I told the members before they joined that this is a long-term investment, and therefore a long-term investment takes a longer period. And therefore they are willing to stay in the club for a long time, until I think that when they leave the university, they'll still be members if they're interested.
Okay. How do you recruit members?
We put emphasis on actually the first years, because they are to be there for a long time, and also I actually look at also the second years mostly,
Okay.
for these ideas, yeah.
And what do you do to market the club?
What we do to market the club? We actually have identification bands, like which are blue in color. We tie them on ourselves so that people identify us.
Any other thing?
We also have the name tag, and also we put the posters, and now we have some. We are soon making our own flag to show that this is a real serious club.
Okay, thank you.
If there are no more questions from the judges, then I guess I can wish you the best. And I hope that none of you gets fired tonight. Yeah. Okay then, I wish you the best of luck, and please leave. We shall be welcoming another group. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
So you're from MOOBS?
Yes.
From MOOBS. South Makerere University Business School.
That's fine.
You're doing kabalagalas?
Yes.
Are they hot?
Yeah, they're hot.
I saw something saying hot and delicious.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you brought some for me today?
Maybe next time.
You're losing some money. I was going to buy maybe probably 10,000.
Next time.
Otherwise, you're ready?
Yeah.
So last week you were the last. This week, do you think you'll be the best?
Yeah. So much.
You think so?
Yeah.
So you're smart, huh?
So much.
Smart ideas this time?
So
New
much.
strategies?
Yes.
All right, then let's see what the judges have to say.
Welcome, MOOBS. Good evening. Well, how many members do you have?
We have 15 members.
As of this week?
Yes.
And last week, how many do you have?
We also had 15 members.
You had 15, so you've not done any recruitments this week. Do you have a strategy that governs their rights, that keeps them safe?
Yes, we have a constitution, and a copy is here.
Okay.
And have a look at it.
I'll ask my colleagues to look at it while we have a chat. Apart from that, I would like to know about your accountability.
We have a receipt book. We have an accountant. So all the things are in receipts, so the accountability
You have
is
books
okay.
of accounts, you have a profit and loss
Yes,
statement.
we have all those ones.
How do you elect your leaders as you go about your task?
We held a meeting and we democratically elected the leaders depending on the departments. We had like accountancy department, production, general manager.
Last week you were 15, this week you're 15.
Yes.
So what's the continuity strategy?
The continuity strategy is that we have recruited some from first year. Most of them are from first year.
What percent is from first year?
We have around 6 members from first year.
Okay.
So we hope that those ones will also continue recruiting as we also leave.
Do you yourselves do the pancakes, do the selling, or how do other members interact?
We have an organizational structure. We have 3 directors. We have a general manager.
We have 3 directors.
We have, yes, as we are here, we are the 3 directors. Then we have an accountant, we have production, we have all those departments. And then all the members for the case of selling.
We're all sellers.
All of us are sellers.
So you've got one sales
That's how
team.
we work as a team.
And we're all producers.
And you're all producers.
We all produce and all sell.
What are you doing to ensure that all the other members that are joining understand the objective of why we are doing this?
So far we have made some brochures to educate the public and the members about the capital markets, and we have also invested in unit trusts with African Alliance. Yes.
Seriously?
We have invested profits
Two transactions
of 140,000 shillings with African Alliance.
this week.
Okay.
So this week we hope to also invest more.
And you already have a bank account?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Address, and we're thinking of incorporating our website either with CMA or with the MOOBS. So I think that would be a good idea for those people who are technology.
Yeah.
Okay, what was your total profit for this week?
For this week, we have a total profit of 91,000 shillings. We have so far invested 80,000 shillings in the interests, and last week we had invested 60,000 shillings. So far we have 140 in the interests.
Last week you are 15, this week you are 15. You are not growing, and anything that doesn't grow dies. Why are you still 15?
The reason why we are 15 is that we want first lay strategies of administration. We want first lay strategies and make sure that we can very well administer, grow. So as the business grows, that's when we shall continue recruiting.
I wanted to know if you are registered in any way with the university authorities.
We are in the process of registering with the guild, because according to the university you have to register with the guild, then you register with the So we are...
How long away is that process?
Okay, there's no minister. The minister who is in charge of accepting electoral affairs.
Yeah.
He's not there.
He's not there.
So they told us we have to wait until
he's elected so that we can register public.
Thank you. Thank you for your time and good luck.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. I hope this week you're going to do better. You may leave the boardroom as we wait for the results to be compiled, and then you come back later. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
79.83.
Now, the time we've all been waiting for is here. All the different teams have united. They have come together to receive their results. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? So we're going to give you results according to this criteria. Establishment of clubs is going to be out of 50. And also investment strategy for your clubs is going to be out of 50. Via the establishment of clubs, Makerere University Kampala, you have 28.33. KIU, you have 26.33. MUBS, you have 39.17. Now, next is investment strategy for your clubs. MOOC, that is Makerere University Kampala, you have 24 out of 50 in this area. KIU, well, you have 15 out of 50. MUBS, you have 39.5 out of 50. As you can see, in totals, Makerere University Kampala, out of 100, you have 52.33%. KIU, out of 100, you're still below average. You have 41.33%. And MUBS, out of 100, you have 78.67%. According to me this week, you came out strong. You were determined to come from last to first. Are you excited about this? I'm not seeing you guys smiling. You guys should be clapping for one another. What were your results? You had 30 what? Yeah, indeed you improved because you had 30 something and this week you have 40 something, but it's still below average. Well, I must say that because of that, one of you has to lose his position. So this week, the team leader, I want to be polite, but I can't be polite because the honeymoon is over. You're fired. So we're going to elect another team leader at your university, probably who can make the team a better team. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to congratulate you. MUBS, thank you very much for performing better. KIU, I know next week you can be better because I believe a team, the only team with ladies, you have to be strong. MOOC, I believe you're going to have new strategies for next week. You're going to come out as the best, right? So otherwise, that is it for tonight. Next week is the last week, yeah? So I hope you're all vigorous in all the exercises you're carrying out, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Good night. You may leave the boardroom. Viewers, this has been the 5th episode. MUBS left the boardroom at the tail end of things last week. This week, they came up with a dramatic escape, leaving KIU and MOOC trailing in their wake. KIU's presiding partner has earned himself a sack. Will MUBS maintain the momentum, or will the other teams catch up? In the next episode, when we return, the final judgment and who takes the grand prize. Good night. I remain your favorite presenter, Israel Tinkasimile.